to Ruben Amorim, the big-money arrivals, and assess the mouth-watering opening day contest between two Premier League heavyweights. United could field a new-look attack of summer signings Benjamin Sesko, Bryan Mbeumo, and Matheus Cunha, and Anderson hopes the trio can adapt quickly to the pressures of playing at Old Trafford. Until you walk in the door, you don't realize how difficult it can be for players, he said. Good players going to Manchester United doesn't always apply. Hopefully the new signings will hit the ground running, but it is never that easy because of the expectations. The 70,000 fans and what has gone before you. The best way to adapt is by winning matches and getting off to a good start. You have to do the basics that got you there in the first place and the things the manager saw in you in the first place. That manager is now entering his first full season in charge at United and will be aiming to compete at the top end of the table, having suffered a woeful domestic campaign last term when the Reds finished 15th. Anderson believes starting well will be crucial for Amorim, given the pressure that will mount if results go awry and the questions that will be asked of a manager who has spent nearly $200 million and exiled some big-name players this summer. Things get escalated at United because it is such a big club worldwide, said Anderson. Being Man United manager is a very difficult job with very difficult decisions. You need confidence. If they get off to a good start, then they can do well. It is important to start well after a disastrous season last season. They need to be on the front foot against a really good team. Arsenal have strengthened well, and so have Manchester United, in fairness. I think it will be an intriguing game. Marcus Rashford believes Man United are in no man's land, as rebuild has not started, Manchester United attacker. Marcus Rashford insists the Red Devils cannot win the Premier League title by being reactionary, and has claimed their transition has not started. The Old Trafford club last won the English top flight in 2013 and have gone through many managers and playing styles since then. Man United head coach Ruben Amorim is the 6th permanent manager. The Red Devils have appointed since Sir Alex Ferguson left, with David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Erik ten Hag all failing to get the job done. However, Rashford, who has left for Barcelona on loan, is not convinced changing managers is the way to go. People say that we've been in a transition for years, but to be in a transition, you have to start it, the Man United Academy graduate said on latest episode of the Rest is Football podcast. The actual transition hasn't started yet. When Liverpool went through this, they got Jurgen Klopp and stuck with him. They didn't win in the beginning. People only remember his final few years when he was competing with Manchester City and winning the biggest trophies. To start a transition, you have to make a plan and stick to it. This is where I speak about being realistic about what your situation is. We've had that many different managers, ideas, and strategies in order to win that you end up in no man's land. When Ferguson was in charge, not only were there principles for the first team, but they were for the whole academy. So, you could pick players from 15 years, and they'd all understand the principles of playing the Manchester United way. Any team that has been successful over a period of time has principles that mean that any coach or player that comes in has to align to or add to the principles. At times, United were hungry to win, but it was reactionary. If your direction is always changing, you can't expect to win the league. Amorim will hope to prove him and others wrong soon, but winning the league title could prove to be tricky this term, despite bolstering their attack with 3 top signings. The Red Devils have signed Benjamin Sesko, Bryan Mbeumo, and Matheus Cunha in a deal worth over $200 million, and the trio can make them credible and worthy title challengers if they hit the ground running. However, they face stiff competition for major silverware from the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City, and they will hope their lack of European engagement will boost their chances of winning something this term. Manchester United's newly formed 6-man leadership group has already had to issue its first, albeit minor, dressing room reminder. But veteran goalkeeper Tom Heaton insists the aim is to provide just as much support as the occasional word of correction. The leadership panel, appointed by head coach Ruben Amorim, includes Heaton, Harry Maguire, Diogo Dalot, Lisandro, Martinez Nucer Mazraoui, and Captain Bruno Fernandez. Amorim's vision is for the squad's internal hierarchy to take on more responsibility, allowing the coaching staff to focus on tactical and strategic matters rather than daily discipline. At 39, and as the most senior member of Amorim's squad, Heaton's place in the group was a natural choice. But he stresses their role isn't simply about laying down the law, even if that side of the job has already surfaced in practice.